Good?
Yep.
As good as we're ever going to be. Hi everyone, I'm Ken.
And I'm Julie.
And we've gone caravanning. In today's episode, we wanted to bring you our damage report. So we've been on the road for 8 months now, and we'd like to say there's been no damage, but unfortunately there has been bits of damage along the way. I'm not too unhappy about it, but we'll run through it and you can let us know what you think. So it's in no particular order. This is just how we remembered it. So I've written them down here. So the first thing we have is our awning. So when we were in Broome, at the Pistol Club there, we did damage the awning on some tree branches that were there. Now, usually Julie did say to me, do you want me to get out and check? This is as we were leaving. So normally Julie checks as we're going in and everything was all good. But this was when we were leaving.
I like to be outside the car. But he says, no, don't have to. Stay in the car.
Yeah, it'll be all right. Yeah. So we did hear a few noises and that. Well, what was that? And yeah, unfortunately we must have rubbed along the awning. So it's got a few little...
A branch. Rubbed.
A branch. It's got a couple of little holes in it. It's nothing major, and we're certainly not going to fix it at the moment. I'm not even sure we'll fix it when we get home.
Hasn't affected it.
Yeah, it's not too bad, but still, it rubbed right along the side of the caravan, which fortunately rubbed off. There's a mark on the on the composite wall. Lucky we've got composite. I think if our old van had the light aluminium, I think that would have put a mark right along it. But fortunately, it's pretty good. So now just on that, so I guess the thing is I should have let Julie get out of the car and check it. There were branches around, rather than go, oh, it'll be all right. The other thing is we have clear view mirrors, and they're electric mirrors. Now normally I don't adjust them too much because they're sort of set in the right space to look down the side of the caravan. But I have now, and I usually do now, will just adjust both of them to tilt up and be able to see up around the awning area in the top of the caravan. So I guess if you've got the electric mirrors, really probably should take the time and just adjust them a little bit. It's easy to do. It's just, yeah. So that's the first bit of damage we have. So I guess we will replace it at some point, but it's not urgent.
Nothing too major.
Yeah, we won't be doing that for a while. Number two, as I said, there's no order to these. These are just as I've thought of them and written them down. Some stone chips. So the front of our step, it is just battered with stone chips, isn't it? From when we did that 50k drive out of Tom Price. Yeah. So there's no paint left on the front of it. It's just quite amazing, really. But
we just touch it up with a bit of black paint.
Yeah. And there are a few stone chips around the front of the van. It's not bad by any means, but yeah, certainly around the front window area and down there, there's a few stone chips. So I guess a stone stomper would have come in handy, or something of that manner.
We don't have those flaps.
No.
Whatever they are.
So I guess that would have been handy. Something maybe if we were going to do a lot more dirt roads, we would consider having. And there's a few stone chips on the car as well along the way. We haven't had any broken windscreens or chips in the windscreen, but
no, luckily.
But there's certainly been a few different bangs and clangs at different times, isn't it, from stones?
Touch wood.
Yeah, and a few chips on the top of the roof area and that. So nothing major, but yeah, stone chips and stuff. 3, Starlink cable. So in Broome, as some of you guys probably know, watched that episode, we did have the Starlink cable damaged, and they replaced that free of charge and no issues there, but we had to wait a couple of weeks for it.
Don't know if that was from dirt getting in there or just the wires.
Yeah, so as a consequence of that, it comes with little caps, and I know you can buy caps, I've seen them too, but these are little caps. When we unplug the cable to put it away when we pack up and that, now we do put the caps on it. So if it hits the ground or something, or no dirt can get in that, and we're a bit more cautious about it, weren't we? Yeah. We always were careful with it. It's always rolled up nicely and put away in the car nicely. It sits on the back seat of the car when we travel. So we always were careful with it, but yeah, it did get damaged. So we put the caps on as well now. So yeah, that's the Starling cable. Flat tyres. We've had 3 flat tyres.
3, yeah.
The last one was the first 2 were just a nail or something gone through them. The last one had a bit of a cut in it, and we put it in to be repaired. We couldn't repair it ourselves. No. And they fixed it from the inside.
That was in Broome too. We got that fixed.
Yeah. So yeah, well, it happened out at a rest area, didn't we? Just drove through a rest area just to pull up and have a bowl of cereal.
Yeah.
Went in there, had a bowl of cereal. By the time we come out, the tyre was flat, and we'd run over something. Thing.
It was a bit muddy, wasn't it, in the rest area? So anything could have been in that mud.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the way it goes. 3 punctures. They've all been repaired. Everything's good now. We started with a new set of tyres. So those tyres I got...
brand new.
Yeah, month before we left. Not even a month before we left. That was the plan. Put new tyres on the car before we go. They will need replacing not too long after we get home, looking at the back tyres. Which surprises me. We got 60,000 Ks out of our last one. We've only done about probably 30,000 on this set. And because of the towing, and I didn't take this into consideration, there is a lot more weight on the back tyres all the time. They are wearing quicker. So that will be interesting. We should get us home. I mean, if they need doing, we'll do them, but we're hoping they'll get us home and we'll put a new set on then. So, yeah, tyres. 5 on this list is the car turbo. We just did that episode last week with the turbo, so if you haven't seen that one, the car did develop a turbo problem. We didn't know what it was, just an engine light, that's all we knew, until we took it into Perth, into Major Motors in Perth.
It was only the orange engine light, not the red. Luckily.
Yeah, so they put a scan on that and said it was the turbo, and they fixed it straight away. So, yeah, they were just terrific. We can't what can we say about them? They were just great, weren't they?
No, that was good. Yeah.
Yeah. Could have been something that could have been a bit funny, where they, they didn't want to fix it or they didn't know, but no, they did it straight away, and that's such a relief to us. We're back on the road and we're moving again, and yeah, it's all good. Number 6, phone. I bought a new phone just before we left. I have dropped it and cracked it.
Not the new one.
We bought one since we've been away, so that's a different. So this one, it was just a Samsung Galaxy A32, nothing too expensive. So, and I don't think I'd like to drop. I have dropped a new one a few times. It's worth a bit more than that, but
juggled with it.
Yeah. So look, these things could happen at home as well, stuff like that. So we're just telling you our full damage report. So.
Yeah, one phone's fully cracked screen, Yeah,
fully cracked screen. Number 7. All right. There are 3 things in one go here. Handorf. We packed up in the rain at Handorf, and at some point, and I'm not real sure what happened here, a lack of concentration on my behalf here. This is something that was my fault. There's no doubt about that. But when I reversed up to the van, I actually hit the coupling on the back of the car. So we have a small dent in the back of the car.
Yeah, because you couldn't see the tow ball.
Yeah, look, it's not just that. I don't know what I did, to be honest. I guess the motto of this particular story is to stay alert when you're backing up. I mean, I don't know what happened. I just all of a sudden I'd hit the back of the car, hit the van. When we hit the van, it popped out the O-ring in the trailer mate jack.
Oh yeah.
The top O-ring. So then we had to do a repair on the trailer mate jack as well.
It was at the next stop when we couldn't jack the...
All of a sudden we looked at this oil everywhere. We didn't know it had happened at the time.
And we couldn't get the van off the table because it wouldn't jack up.
Yeah, so anyway, that was all good. And the third thing that got damaged in that was my pride. I can't believe. Like I said, I'm really at a bit of a loss to understand the loss of concentration and why that happened. I'm thankful that Julie wasn't there standing at the back of the car or something. That really, nobody got hurt. I remember we were backing up at that when we went away on that family holiday at Lake Conjola, and we were backing up there, and and a kid just rode right behind me on the bike. I mean, thankfully I was looking in the mirror and it was like, but he rode straight through. I was only this far, and he rode through the gap as I was reversing back. I was
crazy.
Yeah, so I guess stay alert when backing up to the van. Anything can happen. Number 8, the hot water. So we've mentioned this a couple of times. The hot water did go out through. I actually think it was an install problem.
Yeah.
When I don't know if they use apprentices or whatever, whoever installed it in the van, there's a flange that goes in it, and we think that flange was around the wrong way, because there was always a smell inside the van.
Yeah, when your window was open, upside down, the thing must have been upside down.
And that had black soot marks on the actual thermostats and that. So I actually think it was wrong. And when we got the part and I installed it, I put it round the other way because I just felt that it should be around the other way. And there's no smell anymore, is there?
No.
So
yeah.
Certainly it fixed the problem, and there's no issues with it. But yeah, we've had to fix it. I think it was about $50 or something on it for the part.
Yeah, had to be fixed.
Yeah, it was not. There was not a lot of damage. No, I mean not a lot of cost, but we fixed that. Camp chairs. Our camp chairs the nuts have come off the camp chairs and the arms have flopped off.
Yeah, that keeps happening.
So that's happened 3 times, and each time I have brought a little, it's only a small thing of mixed screws and nuts and bolts from home out of the shed. We have a collection
lock
there.
Lock nuts.
And I happen to have 3 lock nuts, a few lock nuts I put in there, which are the right thread and fit perfectly. So we've been replacing now with them, and they're good. But yeah, otherwise it would be a trip to Bunnings to buy some screws. So a good little tip there. It's only a small little container, and I've just a mixture of nuts, screws, and bolts in there, and we've used them a few times now. So
yeah, they don't know why
that's been very handy.
Just keep finding nuts on the ground, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess that's just the vibration towing the van all the time. I guess, yeah. Number 10, this is a vibration one. The sink, as in the tips one, you might as well, we keep a bowl under the sink, and through the vibrations, we guess the damage, the sink underneath, inside, in the sink itself, there's a rubber seal underneath the drain plug in there. And it's just worked its way loose, and that's how we got the drip in the sink, wasn't it?
I think it's loose again. It was the water was draining out slowly yesterday.
Okay, yeah. So there again, and it's quite I actually haven't got a tool to fix it. The screwdriver I got is not quite big enough. I need to find something.
It's where the plug goes in and it comes up from the bottom.
And we probably should buy a tube of silicone and just take it out, put it back in silicone.
Yeah.
And fix that problem once for all. But yeah, it just vibrates loose.
It's not leaking into the cupboard. It's just draining slowly out, so the water disappears in the sink. Yeah,
and that's how you notice it. Especially if there's sink water in the sink, and we're pumping washing machine water, that it makes the problem a lot worse.
Doesn't like it.
Yeah. So yeah, when the sink, a wear mark, number 11, wear mark on the cupboard, rear cupboard. So we carry 10 litres of drinking water all the time. We actually have 20 litres most of the time, but at the moment we've got 10 litres. We're down the bottom end. The water's not too bad. We've cut down on one of them. So they sit between our toilet and the rear cupboard where the wash machine is. But they fit beautifully in there. Yeah. Now the first one when we left home,
you put a big patch of felt.
Yeah, we put a felt patch on it. And that sits in there, and there's no problems there with that one. The other 10 litre one is one we just buy from Coles and Woolies or whatever when we're in town, and it's a 10 litre pack with you turn it up with the little nozzle to drain the water out. That one we just had sitting in there in recent times, haven't we? And because it's sitting there and the movement of the van and that, it's left a little mark on the cup, a wear mark on the scratches. On the Laminex, So it's not bad. It's wear and tear. It's wear and tear, but I guess we have a tea towel around.
That's my fault.
A tea towel down there. Yeah. Finally, I can say it's her fault because nearly everything's my fault. So yeah. Look, they're really not major things.
Nothing to worry about.
But we just thought we'd do this video, and maybe these are some things that you can think. Well, I'll do something. Like I said, we put a bit of felt on one. There's no problems at all, is it?
Fine.
I mean, that's come from New South Wales all the way. We're in Augusta at the moment.
You thought of everything before we left.
Yeah, we tried to do everything, but yeah. So yeah, a bit of wear on the cupboards and that. Just be careful where you put things on cupboards, that are out on show or whatever. The number plate, the front number plate on the car is looking a bit ordinary.
Bit dented.
A few dents in it from.
Those parking lots with the very short...
with the low, only about that high, you go in a parking lot, short
post.
posts, yeah. And I've gone under one of them posts and caught it on the thing and backed away, and the number plate's all. So we'll probably just get a new one or panel beat it.
No, just straighten it out.
Yeah, just probably panel beat it. But yeah, that happened up at Caravaning, didn't it? We did that up there. So, yep, bit of damage to the number plate on the car. All right, number 13, the shower hose. Now we don't normally take the shower hose down. It fits nicely, and we used to take it down
and put it on the floor wrapped in a towel. Yeah.
Yeah, this is your department.
But then I was leaving it in the shower holder, and just putting a big shoelace around it and a strap. But for some reason, when you're travelling, the bit that's around it has sort of come away. Yeah.
So Julie said we need to buy a new hose. I had a look at it, and you could see that it could be it wasn't leaking or anything, and we could wind that back in. But
so now I leave it back on the floor.
I had to get Julie to do it because I was going to get the hammer out, and I'm just not quite good at them little fiddly jobs. So Julie had to fix that. But you did fix it, didn't you?
It's sort of in place. I put some black tape around it now,
just so it doesn't happen again. Yeah. But the shower rose is on the floor.
Yeah.
In a we wrap it in a little towel, hand towel most normally, don't we? It just sits on the floor rather than up in the shower holder. It's never bounced out, but yeah, a bit of damage to the hose. What else have we got in here? Damage. I lost a demerit point on my license. So got a speeding fine in Warrnambool. What's to say? I've got nothing really to say.
The limit was in a 60 zone. You were travelling about 6 over.
Yeah, so I lost 1 point. The worst part about it is the fine went to home. I didn't know it was there. Eventually, one of the kids went round home and read us out the mail and said, "Oh, you've got a fine here."
And by then
it was extra because it was now late
an extra
as well.
Admin charge.
Yeah, it was late as well. So, but yeah, I was speeding. So,
just one of those sneaky cars catching people that are just slightly over the limit.
Yeah, I guess if you're going to do a lap around Australia, I guess that you could probably expect to get one somewhere along the line.
That's one of the biggest things I think everybody says.
Yeah, so 1 point.
What's your limit? What's your
Not unhappy about that, but yeah, in New South Wales, it does cost you a little bit because when you renew things, your licence and that, it costs you more. But anyway, that's fine. The washing machine it's not damaged as so. This is another install problem.
It's an NEC, isn't it?
Yeah.
NEC.
When it was installed, it's never been balanced properly in there.
NCE? Is it NCE?
NCE, I think, yeah. It's never been balanced properly from the start. So we did to take it out and sort it out, you would need to remove the toilet bowl and everything.
It's a big job.
And then take the front off there to get the washing machine out to fix out whatever's going on with the way they've put it in.
It's not level on the floor.
It's not level on the floor. So we're not going to do that on the road. We've put up with it. What we did do was we put some pool noodles down around the sides to help. So and it has helped, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So we've had it's not it goes back too far, it leans back, so we've brought that forward and put some pool noodles behind it and on one side too.
It's when it's spinning, it bashes and bangs around.
Yeah, so we'll fix that at home. It's not a job to do on the road, so, but yeah, it's just not level. 16, water filter. We've just had this one happen here, so, but it has happened when we were in Darwin as well, where
the water's not the best.
The water is really dirty, and we've hooked up and turned the tap on, and Julie's turned the tap on inside, and the water's still brown, and she's gone, is the water okay? And by this time, because we've put the water straight onto the through the filter, now the filter has got its chock-a-block full of dirt as well. Now, we've got that best one where it goes both ways, so, you know, I'm outside for half an hour, turning them each way, and brown water's still coming out of it. But
eventually it runs clean.
Yeah, and that's because this park has not been opened for 6 months.
Yeah, so
it would have been May, it would have been closed, this park.
Yeah.
It only opens from September the 15th to May the 31st. So we're probably the first ones on this site who's used this water.
In Augusta.
We're in Augusta, yeah.
WA.
So, yeah, we did ask. Julie went up the office. They said, oh, no, the park's been closed. So we just ran the water for 10 minutes and the water came clear in the taps and everything.
It's fine, the water. It's just the pipes have...
Yeah, so I guess the way to avoid that would be to...
They haven't been run for 6 months, so...
Check the water before you hook your filter onto it. Now, when we were in Berry Springs, the water is dirty there all the time.
It was like that all the time, yeah.
So, in the end, so that we weren't really clogging up the filter was taking it out, but because we actually took the filter off in the end, didn't we? And just didn't use that water for drinking, and we didn't use it for showering either, I don't think. We certainly didn't wash clothes in it.
No.
While we were there, so we just had a week off the washing and took the filter off and just, yeah.
That was probably the worst place.
Yeah. I mean, I know it defeats the purpose. You're taking the filter off, you're taking the filter off so it doesn't clog the filter up. But we just made the decision to do that and not use, because we have 2 filters, so there's one under the sink as well for the drinking water, not to use that filter water inside. So that's what we did there. So, yeah, check the water. All right, we've had a few near misses, so that's mainly the damage report. Which I consider to be, I'm not unhappy about the damage. Well, I wouldn't have, I didn't hurt the awning, and
it's minor stuff, really.
It's minor stuff, and certainly could be a lot worse, and it's not been anything that has affected our holiday in any way. So
our travels.
Yeah, it's just, you know, so not too bad. There's a few near misses along the way. So those of you might, I think it's in the Cooper Pedy episode where we had a truck that it could have been a real problem out on the road, but he came out to pass. There was a car coming the other way. It was very clear that if we'd have maintained our speed and the car coming the other way had maintained their speed, that someone was going to be in a lot of trouble. Fortunately, we were alert that day. I was on the job and
slowed right down.
When he pulled out, as soon as he pulled out, I slowed down. So I looked up ahead. I saw that car. I slowed down. The car slowed down and pulled over, and we were half off the road at this time as well. And the truck kept going and maintained his speed and went through. But that could have got very ugly very quickly had we not been alert to what was going on and everybody paying attention. So another near miss. I backed into a pot plant at
Caragini.
Cananara. Yeah. Again, another little lapse in concentration, and because the pot plant was so slow and I backed out there, didn't see it, and hit it. No damage, hit the tow ball, the tow bar, but
no damage,
no damage, but
the pot plant might have had a dent in it.
Yeah, the pot plant might have had a dent in it, but yeah. Anyway, again, it's another one of those ones where you just think, I've got to pay. I don't know how it happened. I should be paying more attention. So that's another mistake on my behalf. So another near miss. I almost lost the drone at Kalbarri.
Yeah.
We flew the drone out to do some whale watching, and we were about 2.2 kilometres out to sea. And
you've been out there a short while.
Yeah, and we got a low battery warning, and so we returned home, and we put it on automatic to fly home.
Yeah.
And it got about 60 metres.
It was limping. It was limping.
60 metres offshore, and the words came from the controller, landing.
Landing.
And it was going to land 60 metres off the shoreline. And I'm just freaking out a bit. The first button I hit was like, it went up. So
you wanted to override that, yeah.
So I went up about 60 metres and said, what are you doing? You need to move forward. So I've hit the fly forward button. And fortunately for me, it did fly forward. And we got about 5 metres onto the shoreline, onto the rocks. And even though we were up there and the rocks were down there, I landed it on them rocks and clambered down and got it. But
that was a near miss, wasn't it?
Yeah, we almost. So yeah, it's probably it's, I don't know, whatever it is, $1,200-$1,300. Yeah, it was going to land in the water. It was going down and was going down fast. So yeah, managed to save that one.
Yeah,
and
you can override it, can't you, somehow?
Yeah. So yeah, that was all good.
The decision it was making.
Yeah. All right. To finish this video, we thought something along the way, and this trip, other places we've left a mat behind or left something behind. We've got all the way to Perth, and we've not left one single thing behind. And when we were in Perth, Woodman Point, we met up with some friends we started travelling with, back in February and March, and I was bragging to Andrew that I hadn't left anything behind this trip. So naturally, after you do that, and he even said, "Oh, you better touch wood." So yeah, touch some wood, but I left a tap connection behind. So really nothing, and
just minor again, but
I was just proud of myself for not leaving anything behind. You know what I mean? So yeah, so we've managed to get one back since then. Someone left one on a tap, and we've got one back. But yeah, we left a tap one behind at Woodman Point. So yeah, all's good. That's about it for today. That's pretty much all the damage we've had. We're going to be touching wood. That we don't get any more between here and home, and I've got my hand on some wood right there under the table.
It's plywood, isn't it?
Yeah, it's plywood. Yeah. We consider that to be. Look, we're lucky. That's been pretty good, really. Things certainly we've seen worse. When we were in Eden, we saw that caravan on the side of the road. It was burnt to the ground.
No big cost, is it really?
And certainly accidents and stuff that happen. So we do consider ourselves to be lucky, and we do try to stay out of trouble and think ahead and plan a little bit. So you just never know, do you? So I hope that's been helpful to somebody. If leave some comments and let us know if maybe you've been traveling and some damaged stuff. Maybe we can get something from that we can save some damage later on. But we do think it's been pretty good. Yeah. So just before we leave, there is one thing. Recently, it was about a month ago, I guess, we hit the 1,000 subscriber mark. So a big thank you to everybody who watches the videos, and in particular those people who have subscribed to our channel. It doesn't help. It helps us. We thank you very much for your support, and we're very happy about it. And we'll keep making some videos. So thank you very much for subscribing. That's it.
All right.
Yeah, so the next video out will be back to a scenery video. I'm working on one at the moment. Headphones are out. I did take a couple of weeks off from them and had a little bit of a rest from them, but I am making one at the moment. So you should see a video out on Bustleton.
Yeah.
Is what I'm working on at the moment.
Yeah.
So we've skipped a few little ones. We'll save them for when we get home, and that should come out in the next week or so. Yeah. So thanks for watching.
Yeah. Thank you.
Cheerio.
Cheerio.
I forgot to turn it on.